Pro boxing fans here in Manchester with Johnny Nelson. Johnny, always a pleasure seeing yourself. You've got this, it's like Peaky Blinders look going on.
It's how I roll, man. It's how I roll. Fresh as a daisy.
Yeah, but you're walking limping, like you look like an old man right now.
I've got to start it out. I'm thinking it just came on again. I pulled my groin a little bit, but I thought I was over that illness until it just hit me under the lights. But we're good. We're good.
Let's talk about why we're here. The return of Lawrence Okolie back on the boxing scene. It's been a while since we've seen him. Back on Sky Sports, you know, familiar with yourself and everything else. Just talk to me about Lawrence, man. You know, it's been a tough year or so for him.
Yeah, I think Lawrence is probably wasted, and he'd probably say that time out of the ring, having to fight a legal situation they had going on, and to me there were valuable times in his career that he needed to be improving as a fighter. He's putting back a little bit. Now we're over that hurdle. Now he needs to be consistent to become a finished fighter. As a champion, he's still got so much more to do, and there could be so much more development coming from him. So it'd be interesting to see how he unfolds, especially working alongside Sugar Hill.
Obviously, we expect him to do the job against David Light. That's no disrespect to David, but you know, there's levels.
When you said that when he was stood next to you,
because you punched me with that right hook, man. I'm a bit scared, but look, the fights that we're looking forward to is our fight with Richard Riakpo. Big needle in that. They had a bit of a scuffle at the Creed 3 premiere. Chris Bill and Smith, and Lawrence talked about him and Chris being friends, so they could make that happen, make money for each other, and there's Jay Oppenheimer. So it seems to be like fights can get made now.
There are fights that can be made, and that's why I'm saying I think you're looking at the ones that the proven record is obviously Lawrence's. He's a champion, so he's proved that. So now it's a case of who's going to unify the titles, and all these fights are fights that can be made. You're not going to worry thinking this can't be made because he's with X, Y, Z. These fights can be made. I think there's business that needs to be sorted out with Lawrence and Richard Riakpo, because Richard Riakpo again has showed so much talent. It's ridiculous. Chris Bill and Smith, who's very closely associated with Lawrence, so those guys know each other far too well. So maybe a fight between those two was probably less likely. But again, you know, there's fights there that you're just looking forward to. New WBC champion in, God, he beat Mugabe, Badu Jack. Badu Jack has all the experience, more experience than all of the champions there, all the top fighters there. But timing isn't on his side. His timing is gone, so now he's slowed down a little bit. As a cruiserweight, you can get away with it. But again, these are fights that can be done and won.
Do you want to talk about obviously Sky signing or Boxer signing Lawrence Okolie? Is going to be the face of Sky Sports. Eddie Hearn's coming out and saying, listen, you know, it looks like they're struggling to sell tickets and will be giving out tickets to the floor. Also talked on the Simon Jordan show that the reason why people are going from Dazn is because other investors are paying a lot more money than the commercial value of certain fighters. What do you make of this? Can Lawrence Okolie be that face for Sky?
So first of all, speaking as an ex-fighter, and I was around when ITV, BBC and Sky came on the scene. Fighters are put in a position where they can get paid more money or be more popular. And right now, Sky is that platform where you're not going to be questioned. People know they've seen you fight. There's more chance of people seeing you fight on Sky. So therefore, when the likes of Joshua Buatsi, Lawrence Okolie are walking from their contracts with Matchroom or whoever, the main thing that seems to be coming out is the fact that they want more people to be aware of them. You know, they want to be more present, and they're looking at their career thinking, right, I have my own business. I've got to sell me. I'm doing you a favour, you know, promoting your platform, but I want people to know who I am, so I can get my fan base there, so they'll follow me and they'll pay pay-per-view for me. So these guys are just looking after themselves. That's it. I totally get that, and of course Eddie's got to say what he's got to say because he's on the other side of the fence. He's got to make sure he has food to feed the beast, to feed the TV. So I get it. I get both sides of it. Lawrence has now dealt with that business. You know, we'll see. Only time will tell. if Lawrence and Joshua Watts have made the right move, and you'll see how their career goes, you'll see how their popularity goes, you'll see how their opportunities goes. But only time will tell. It doesn't matter what Eddie says, doesn't matter what Ben says. Let's just see how these boys roll.
Dazn being on channel 429 on Sky now, have you guys looked at that and thought of that as some sort of threat, or do you feel like, you just carry on business as usual?
Well, you said it's Sky 429, so I don't think it's a threat to Sky, because they'll still, but that's what I'm saying. Sky's still getting paid from it. It's still got to go through their front door. So, and that's business. And again, listen, Sky have put on amazing shows. The production is ridiculously on fire. They're king of the hill. That's the kingdom. So now fighters have got to see, right, I've got a chance to be seen here. So Dazn have got to make the path they've got to make. It's going to take time for Dazn to be in Sky's position, and I mean years. And so we can have this conversation in a few years' time. But right now, they've got to do everything possible to try and get up there.
But Eddie is saying, look, they're getting bigger viewing numbers globally than any other promoter in the world. So he's obviously saying that, he said on Simon Jordan show that from his point of view, regardless of what happens in the UK, globally they're getting bigger numbers.
If he's saying that collectively, he may be right. But at the end of the day, you go to the average man in the street and ask him to name you the last 3 headliners on Dazn, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle to know when Fighter A boxed. That's how it is. So it doesn't matter what's being said. The fact is fact. And this is why fighters are starting to talk about migrating, because they want to be stars. They want to be household names. They see a gap there. They see the success Anthony Joshua's had on Sky. So now there's a gap there, and they're thinking, can I be that next guy? Can I be that next king? And you look at Joshua Watts, he's looking at Dan Aziz, and he's thinking, look, I know this brother. I'm above him in the ratings, and everybody knows who he is. So this is business. You've got to be smart businessmen, and these fighters have got to now take control of their own business. And so I keep saying, that's what I'm drumming on about. You do what's best for you, and then right now, jumping ship and going over to another platform is the best thing for them. That's what they feel.
Fair enough. I did mention the Simon Jordan thing to yourself and Eddie Hearn, that little TalkSport debate that they had. Did you have a chance to listen to it? If you have, what did you make of it?
I listened to it all right. I listened to it, bad man?
Yes.
I listened to it all right. Good. I listened to it all right. It was wicked. It was wicked.
Do you take anything from that was new, or did you feel like everything that was said in there was already been said?
Well, listen, and I'll keep saying it. If I think Simon Jordan is the only person that has taken Eddie to task and had Eddie on the back foot. Eddie gave as good as he got. Simon Jordan wouldn't let certain things go. Whereas and Eddie's to me, I've always said, he's got the sharpest tongue in the West, but he's come up against somebody that's as sharp, as smart, as intelligent, knows the business side and the public side as much as he does. Simon made him answer questions that he's probably skimmed over when people like you or Cougar or whoever asked Eddie those questions. I think Simon did an amazing job. I think I've got to rate Eddie for going in the fire, going in the lion's den. So that shows cojones. And then what Eddie has shown is, if he's with you, he's got your back. If he's not, you don't want to be on the wrong side of it. And that's where fighters that have left him see that, fighters that are with him see that as well. And that's the business it is. If you're producing the goods and you've got Eddie on your side, he's brilliant. He'll fight the fight for you, he'll take the heat for you, he'll take the shots for you. If he's not, he'll say, yo, it's not my problem.
Eddie's definitely fighting the corner of Conor Benn. He said in that interview very passionately, and someone like AJ as well, very passionate about both fighters. It seems like Eddie's trying to now make the Conor versus Chris Eubank Jr. fight. I've just spoken to Liam Smith. He said, look, the rematch clause was activated, but it seems like possibly Eubank's now entertaining that Conor Benn fight. What do you make of this? Do you feel like Liam should just move on now? Do you feel like that should be the case?
Well, Liam, why is Liam chasing the guy he's knocked out? Lee's just got to say, all right, no problem, not my problem. Move on, And for Conor, I personally thought it's probably better that he doesn't fight Liam, because what's going to change? He did everything possible and Liam just wiped him out. So now you've got to try and walk down another avenue, and it's still an intriguing, attractive fight between him and Conor. But the pressure is on Eddie in regards to, Simon said, well, you still going to sanction this fight, or are you going to be cool with this fight? Are you going to say to Conor, clear your name first, son, because it's making you look bad and me look bad? Because that seems to be the situation.